identify as a rebel. Do we have any rebels? Oh, I like. Okay. So we've got about 4 or 5 hands, 6, maybe 6 hands. I like it. Now, I'm going to tell you what a true rebel stands for. And then we'll see if you are all indeed rebels. Okay. So a rebel stands for being resilient, someone who has empathy for self and others, someone who is willing to break the rules. That is the limiting mindset, so don't worry, no breaking laws here, so that you can evolve. And last but not least, lighten up. So do you at any moment remember to lighten up? Or how do you keep your own light alive? So now I'm going to ask again, is there anyone in this room who does not think that you are a rebel? No? Okay, so can everyone stand up and just give yourself a round of applause? Well done. We're all rebels. It's just a little bit of lightheartedness, fun. Thank you so much for playing along with me. I've been asked today to share my journey of evolving through curiosity. So I do believe that curiosity is one of the key factors for us to evolve and for us to grow, because you cannot grow if you are stagnant and in your comfort zone, right? So I moved house 38 times, okay? At least I didn't get divorced or die 38 times, because that's up there with moving house. Any one of you moved house recently?
No.
It's fun, right? Let's do it again tomorrow. No, it is incredibly stressful.
Yes.
But what I did learn from this all these different moves over my lifespan is that true belonging is only when you feel safe within your own body, your own self, this little body that we get to live with every single day. And I'm sure you have you all heard of trauma-informed? Yes? Okay. So that's obviously the core principle of being trauma-informed, is a psychological safety. So how can you create that within yourself? So the 3 things that I would like to discuss with you today on how to evolve through curiosity is, the first thing is to remember to lighten up. How do you keep your own light alive? Now, when I talk about that, there's normally 2 choices, right? If something happens to you, immediately in that moment, whether it's your neighbor shouting or your spouse is not doing the dishes or packing away the whatever, in that split moment, you've got a choice. Am I going to get upset and retaliate, or am I going to let it go and just see it for what it is? It's just a lesson learned, or it's just an experience. How can you transform that one moment into something positive? Because that is our power. That is what we have access to every single day, is to change our mindsets. But we've got to give ourselves permission, which is the next one, is to give space. We have to allow ourselves to make space in our lives so that we can take in all this new information. And the third one is to be open to learning. Okay, so there's 3 things I'm going to talk about. The first one is keep your light alive. The second one is to make space in your life. And the third one is to always be open to learning. So keeping your light alive. I'm going to not go too far back, but I wish when I was a young girl that there was a wonderful organization such as Cruise, because I could have really needed someone like you in my life. So when I was 5, I lost my mum to suicide, and that was obviously quite a disturbing, life-changing trauma that stood with me for the rest of my life. Up until now, it never leaves you. Grief and that moment of impact never truly leaves you. But luckily, I've had quite a lot of lessons learned and opportunities to adapt and learn, to evolve, to remain curious, to find that light. And that is probably one of the biggest, my blessings. I know it sounds absurd, but my mum's death was actually my biggest gift, because it taught me to hang on to life, to search for the light relentlessly, to never allow anyone to dim my light, and to never ever stop searching for that positivity. Because I swear to you, every single moment there is something positive for you to find. You just got to look for it, right? So how do you look at it? Do you look at it from a place of curiosity? Is there something that I can learn from this instant? Is there a lesson that I can learn from this moment? Or am I going to go and drop into fear? Am I going to go drop into resentment? Am I going to drop into pain and anger and fear and all that low energies that we have access to? Because this one is easy. This is very easy to stay, yeah. But to constantly seek the light is hard. That is courage. And we all have access to that. But we just need the tools, right? We just need to remind ourselves that we have access to, in ourselves, to constantly seek the light, to find that positive in every single situation. So unfortunately, this various traumas led to quite a lot of other traumas and eventually addiction. And for most of my life, it was like a darkness. You know, you're looking for that light and you're like, oh, there's a little light. I'm going towards it. But it wasn't easy. Until 2017, where I found the tools and I found the courage to eventually break free from my addiction that I've been struggling with for 13 years on and off, trying to break. And I did it. And that was complete transformation. That was my biggest evolution that I still refer to as the make or break. So I completely changed. My hair, my look, the way I speak, the way I act, my circle of friends. As some of you who work with addiction, if you don't change your environment, nothing else is going to change much. I changed everything. I lost a lot. There was a lot of grief I had to deal with. It's a loss of identity, right? This persona, this even addiction to trauma, addiction to chaos, addiction to constantly seeking that, oh, poor me. That was almost like a self-soothing, familiar state for me. And I had to break free from that. And that was one of the tools that I fell in love with completely, and that was meditation. So for the past 7 years, I've been studying the different forms of meditation, which is now, which I help with my clients and with different projects, which I'll share with you now, is a form of hypnosis. So I do believe that you can change your brain, you can change your thoughts, you can change your behaviors, you can change your personality, you can change everything. But it starts here. It starts with one single thought. One single thought that you, in that moment, got a choice in. What are you going to choose? Happiness? Or are you going to choose sadness? So, hypnosis is one of the key tools that I use in my organization, Pathfinder. So I'm also a NADA acupuncturist. This was the second step that I've learned over the past 7 years. It was a game changer. I've become a bit evangelistic about it, so please bear with me because it's incredible. It's incredible. So even after the first, I would probably say the first 2 years, yes. The first 2 years after kicking my addiction, obviously a lot changed for the positive. Great, beautiful, fantastic things. But humming at the back was this constant anger. I was quick to just fly off the handle. Obviously, you know, if some of you who work with people with trauma and addiction, you don't have a lot of emotional regulation. I had zero emotional regulation. And the NADA acupuncture treatments completely helped me with that. So what it does, it actually calms your nervous system. So this is what happens to our bodies. You know, we refer to it in the wild to the lion chasing the gazelle. And then the lion gets the gazelle, and then what he does, in first instance, he's going to fight. He's going to try and fight the lion back, or he's going to run away. And if it doesn't work, he's dead. He's like, please, I'm dead. Leave me alone. And when the lion leaves him alone, because now this is not fun anymore, the lion runs off and sees if he can get another gazelle. The gazelle wait a few seconds because they're clever, and then they jump up and they shake, and the whole body shake, almost like a little baby when they're trying to walk. That is the trauma being released from the body. and this is what I've learned over the past few years, and this is what I've also practiced in my practice, to help just automatically to release this stuck trauma, this energies in our bodies. Because I was wondering, what is going on? How can I've been through therapy, I've been through all these treatments, I've been through hypnosis. Yes, it all works. It's one step further, right? It takes you a lot further, but you're not 100%. And I don't believe we'll ever be 100%, but I'm definitely at 90% right now, which is incredible for if I consider my journey so far. So what the nod acupuncture does, there's 5 needles that we place in each ear. The first 2 regulates our nervous system. Okay, so it's a parasympathetic and our sympathetic. And unfortunately, most of us live in constant survival, fight or flight. We're constantly on the go, 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 go. We don't give ourselves the opportunity to just breathe, come back. We don't even breathe properly. Most of us breathe here. Don't have these nice big belly breaths. That is how you massage your internal organs. That's how you massage your nervous system. So the acupuncture does all of that for you. Calm your 2 nervous systems so it can be just nice and calm with each other, looking like that. And then the 3 organs that we tackle is your kidneys. That's responsible for willpower, but it also hangs on to worry. And then we've got the liver, hangs on to anger. So that's where my personality started changing. I couldn't be bothered. When someone upset me, I was like, no, your problem. And walk away. Everyone's like, what's going on with you? How are you so calm? I'm like, I don't know, just not bothered anymore. Because things just don't affect you so much because your whole body is nice and healed. It's working together. Your organs are nice and strong. You detox. You're not holding on to all these emotions and traumas and stuck energies. Releasing. And then the last one is your lungs, which is responsible for sadness. Obviously, your normal organs have got, your lungs is responsible for your skin and hair, but it also has the nervous system and the different emotional attachments to it, to the organs. So that's the one protocol, one part of my protocol that I practice. And so I do the nod acupuncture, which is almost like keeping them there. They can't move. And then while they're experiencing this protocol, it obviously calms their nervous system and helps them to sleep. So that is the magic second ingredient. You only heal when you have nice, deep REM sleep, which this acupuncture gives you. And then the second step where I come in is then doing the hypnosis. That's reframing their thoughts. We really go into the past. I try and get them into the present moment, the right here, the right now. Because it's only here that we can change things. We can't change the past and we can't change the future. We can only change the right here, right now, the present moment. Unfortunately, we flick through past, future. We really just stay here. It's too scary sometimes, or perhaps we don't like our lives or don't like ourselves, and we keep escaping it. And then we miss the most important part of how to change and how to evolve, which is the second one on making space. When we talk about making space, it's about declutter, getting rid of things that don't work for you. And I think most of us know deep down inside what is not working for us, but we perhaps don't have the tools, we don't have the courage, we don't have the capacity or the skills to release these things that no longer serve us. So I'm going to challenge you now and ask you, you don't have to answer, but think about the things that is holding you back. What is those rules that you need to break? What is those limiting mindsets that is keeping you stuck, keeping you in the either the past or the present, preventing you from moving into the present and evolving through curiosity? Now, I would obviously try and convince all of you to come and use my services, and I have some fantastic news. I've just received the message that my Pathfinder project, where I include all these wonderful tools, have just been awarded a funding from the NHS Tayside Charitable Fund, where I can start helping charities like yourselves. There's a few that have already been pre-selected. fully funded, where I can come in and work with your people on a 12-week program. So please do come and speak to me afterwards if this is something that you are interested in. I can arrange something for you, or maybe even your team members. Your team members work with a lot of grief, a lot of trauma, a lot of stress, and we can, honestly, I truly believe that we can together transform trauma into happily ever after. It is possible. Just a little mindset space. So if you don't have access to a Lynn or someone like myself that to come in and help, what I would suggest, the first thing is to declutter and remove all your social media apps, your Facebooks, your LinkedIn's, your YouTubes, your news channels, BBC, all those horrible news stories infiltrating your beautiful mind with all these horrible, sad stories of fear-based information. You don't need to know that all the time. You don't need it. You can check in and get a quick little snapshot, or you can ask a friend who's like highly into the news. Give me an update. Thank you very much. And change your settings on your phone. Stop your notifications. You don't need to get notified every single time someone is sending you a WhatsApp or there's a new story that broke out. You don't need to know that. Small little steps like that creates the space for you to breathe, to think, to get bored. Who of you have been bored over the past few years? It's almost impossible. You can't get bored because we're constantly stimulated, constantly with information, communication, whether it's our immediate factor, it's the outside world, constantly bombarding with information. How are we supposed to create a new world, a new thought process, if we're constantly getting influx of information? Can you remember the good old days? I'm sorry if I'm showing my age here, but the good old days when there was no technology. Can you remember how creative the kids were? Oh my God, I played with bones. I played with bones because I didn't have toys, I didn't have social media. Bones was my toy, and we played funny games on the beach, and when the street lights go on, then it's time for you to go home. But remember MacGyver? OMG. MacGyver could fix anything. This is what we lost. We've lost that sense of being curious because we don't give ourselves space to breathe, to get bored. And for us who have young children, please get them off technology for a bit. They need to get bored. I know it's going to irritate you. My kids irritate me and shame me, and then I have to just remind myself and say, I'm making space. I'm making space for them to get creative. And they do. They get so creative when they come back after those 2 days of detox. They come up with all these amazing paintings and images and ideas, and I'm like, wow, where have you been hiding? 2 days of detox. It doesn't have to take long. The other thing that you can do, I've got a 21-day challenge workbook. It takes you on a beautiful journey, and I'm going to gift this to all of you. So I will share my details to you afterwards, and you can just download. There's also a 2-hour masterclass, happiness masterclass, that I'm gifting each of you. You can just watch the videos. If you want to complete the questions, you can actually get CBD points for it. If not, it's just for your own tools and resources on how to become more happy and use these tools and resources. And this 21-day workbook is part of that. To start discovering who you are, why you are the way you are, what is your values, what is your limiting beliefs, what is your dreams, what's your goals. That's the one thing across the board. No, not once. Not one of my clients, when I've dealt with them, when I ask them, what is your dream? Where do you want to be? Like, I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. Isn't that sad? That's unfortunately most of us. We don't know what we want because we're constantly in survival mode. We're just just breathing, struggling along, trying to grasp for air. So how can you get out of that mode and start creating the space for yourself so you can breathe and get creative? And the third one is never stop learning. Dopamine is one of the most delicious hormones that get released in your body when you learn. You get your memory becomes stronger, your body gets stronger, your access to creative ideas, curiosity, all these wonderful emotions and physical benefits gets released from dopamine. That's your reward chemical. The more you learn, the more you want to learn. So how can you start learning more? What can you learn more? Especially us in this industry, you've got to constantly stay up to date with the latest information. What is the latest trends? What is working? What's not working? When last have you taken a new program? And it doesn't have to be something big. It can literally learning a new value set. There was a past president. Always get his name wrong between the two, but I think it's Roosevelt. He created a 12-month program on his wall, a poster, and he wanted 12 new values that he wanted to learn every single month. So he chose, say for instance, January, it's patience. At the end of the day, he will go and check, did I practice patience today? Yes? No? Okay, it's fine. Tomorrow's another day. Maybe he doesn't achieve it, but for 21 or for 30 days or 31 days, he tried and learn this new value set. So what's a new value set that perhaps you don't have that you can practice on a daily basis to have more of that? And if you're looking for something else to study, I do have 2 wonderful programs. One is a trauma-informed from a somatic perspective program. It's a 10-hour program, fully certified. You get your CBD points for it, as well as a 10 commandments to change, to master change. This is a 10-step process on how to master change effectively. Because oftentimes we struggle with that, and this process has helped me over and over again. Every time I have to go through a new change, when I had to immigrate to Scotland, it was a massive change. Evolution, again, I had to start at step 1. You never stop learning, right? So you're never going to stop. So that is accessible for you, so please let me know if that is something you're interested in. Again, it's CBD points. And we are also having a wellness day, where you can get a SQF level 4 and 5 mental health learning day. It's a 3-day program in November with Eternal Balance that we're partnering up, and that's hosted here in Perth. So I will share with you all the details if that is something that you are interested in. Please do come and speak to me, and if you want to learn more about the projects that we are rolling out, I'd be absolutely honored to work with you wonderful people. You do such great work, and I do really love working with the third sector. It's way better than the business sector. I recently transitioned from that, so yeah. So I hope this gave you a little bit of overview. So the 3 things is, the first one is to remember the light. How can you shine your own light, keep your own light alive? How can you look for the light? And the second one is, how can you make space in your life? How can you create that moment of joy, just calm, peace? And then the third one is, how can you continuously learn so you can evolve? And that's through the act of curiosity. So thank you so much for having me. I hope that helped. And I'm going to ask one of you to tell